Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about hardness of water. First of all, we will discuss about types of water. There are two types of water. One is the soft water. Another one is the hard water. First of all, we will discuss about what is soft water. Soft water, it gives lather with soap. The soft water is treated with soap. It gives lather. That is, it produces lather. That is, lather with soap. And next one is the hard water. What does hard water mean? That hard water is treated with soap. It does not produce lather, with soap. That is called hard water. Okay. And next thing, hardness. What does hardness mean? The property of water, that is known as hardness. Hardness means that is the hard water. It does not produce lather with soap. It only produce white precipitate because due to the presence of calcium and magnesium salts. Calcium and magnesium salts. This calcium and magnesium salts in the form of chlorides, sulfates, and then carbonates and bicarbonates. That is calcium, that is calcium chloride, and then calcium sulfate. And next one is a calcium carbonate, and then calcium bicarbonate. These are all the various forms of calcium. And next one is the magnesium chloride, magnesium sulfate, magnesium carbonate, and then magnesium bicarbonate. These are all the various forms of hardness causing salt. Because of this presence only, the hardness will be produced. That water, the hard water, is treated with soap. It does not produce lather with soap. Okay. Our next we'll discuss about test for hardness. The hardness here, the hardness are going to test for two tests. One is with indicator, by using indicator, the test for hardness, and second one by using soap. Okay, here first one is the indicator. Here we have to use one indicator. The indicator name is called EBT indicator. What does EBT mean? Areochrome black tea indicator. Areochrome black tea indicator. Suppose here you take one hot water. Here you take some amount of hot water in the conical flask or any test tube or anything. In that hot water, you have to add 2 or 3 drops of EBT is added. Initially, the color of the water, that is wine red color. After that, the color changes to steel blue in color. First of all, the EBT, after that the EBT is added into the hot water, and the color of the water, that is wine red in color. This is one test. And another one test, the hot water is treated with soap. Suppose the water contains calcium chloride or calcium sulfide. That water, the hot water, this one is a hot water. This hot water is treated with soap. Soap, that is here you take sodium stearate, C17H35COO-Na. Now the soap is treated with this hot water. Now we'll get C17H35COO twice Ca. Now we'll get calcium stearate plus sodium chloride. Okay. Therefore, here you will take two molecules of C17H35. This one is a soap. The soap is treated with hard water. The naming of the stove, that is sodium stearate. Sodium stearate. Now this two things react. Now we'll get calcium stearate. Calcium stearate plus sodium chloride. Okay, the nature of calcium stearate, that is a white precipitate. It does not produce, the water is treated with soap, the hard water is treated with soap, it does not produce lather, but it gives a white precipitate. This is second test for hardness. There are two tests in hardness, one is with indicator, another one by using soap. With indicator, here you are using EBT. What is EBT mean? Eriochrome black tea. The eriochrome black tea is added with hard water. I will get a wine red color. Next thing is by using soap. The soap is treated with calcium chloride. Calcium, what is calcium chloride? That is a hard water. They can suppose that hard water, it contains calcium chloride or calcium sulfate or calcium bicarbonate or any other thing. Suppose here the water, it contains calcium chloramine. That calcium chloride react with soap. Now we will get calcium stearate plus sodium chloride. The nature of the calcium stearate, that is white precipitate. Okay. And next one is the types of hardness. Types of hardness. There are two types of hardness. One is a temporary hardness. Temporary hardness. And another one is a permanent hardness. Temporary hardness is otherwise is called as carbonate hardness. Carbonate hardness, and also called as alkaline hardness. And next one is the permanent hardness. Permanent hardness is otherwise is called as non-carbonate hardness. Non-carbonate hardness are also called as non-alkaline hardness. Okay. First of all, we'll discuss about what is temporary hardness. Temporary hardness is due to the presence of carbonates and bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. This temporary hardness can be easily removed by boiling, simple boiling. Suppose here you'll take water, here you'll take that water, the water contains calcium bicarbonate. The water is on heating. The calcium bicarbonate is converted to calcium carbonate plus water plus carbon dioxide. In that way, the carbonate salts can be removed from water. The temporary hardness can be removed by water. That is, what is temporary hardness? Temporary hardness, what is temporary hardness mean? That is due to the presence of carbonates and bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. And then second thing, this carbonate temporary hardness can be easily removed by boiling. Here I will see the reaction. Suppose that water contain calcium bicarbonate, mean the calcium bicarbonate water on heating, now will get calcium carbonate that is a precipitated one plus water plus carbon dioxide. And next one is a permanent hardness. What is permanent hardness mean? Permanent hardness is otherwise is called as non-carbonate hardness or also called as non-alkaline hardness. Permanent hardness mean chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium. This carbonate, this permanent hardness cannot be removed by boiling. And this permanent hardness can be removed by using some special methods. That is, one is a lime soda process and another one is a zeolite process. Okay. And next one is what is lime soda process? What is lime soda process mean? Suppose here you will take hard water, that water contain calcium chloride. That water it react with lime soda. What is the formula for lime soda? That is sodium carbonate. Now we'll get calcium carbonate plus sodium chloride. This one is a lime soda process. And next one is a zeolite process. What is the simple representation of zeolite mean? Na2Ze. This zeolite, it react with hard water. Suppose that hard water, it contain calcium sulfate mean that calcium sulfate react with sodium zeolite. Sodium zeolite. Now we'll get calcium Ze plus Na2SO4. Okay, this is a reaction. This type of reaction takes place in the zeolite process, and this type of reaction takes place in the lime soda process. Okay, and next one is the next topic, estimation of hardness of water by EDTA method. And the next topic is the estimation of hardness by EDTA method. Here we are going to estimate the hardness, what type of hardness present in that water. Already we discussed about there are two types of hardness. One is a temporary hardness, another one is a permanent hardness. How much of temporary hardness, how much of permanent hardness present in that water, that estimation are going to discuss here. That is that estimations by using the estimation of water by using EDTA method. Okay, what does EDTA mean? EDTA, that is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. This one is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. And then the structure for ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, this one is a ethylene group, and both sides of the carbon atom you are adding amine group, and then next thing you have to add acetic acid group CH2COOH, and then here also CH2COONA, and then this side also CH2COOH, and next thing CH2COONA. This is the structure for EDTA. By using this ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, we are going to estimate the hardness present in the water. Okay. And next one is the chemicals required. What are the chemical required for this method? There are 4 chemicals. One is a standard hard water, and second one is a EDTA, and third one is a EBT, and last one is a ammonia buffer. First one is a standard hard water. The standard hard water can be prepared by using 1 ml of 1 gram of calcium carbonate in dilute HCl. The whole mixer made up to 1 liter of water. This one is a standard hot water. And next one is a EDTA. EDTA, here you will take 4 grams of EDTA in 1 liter. And next one EBT, that is 0.5 grams of EBT in 100 ml of alcohol. And next one is ammonia buffer. Ammonia buffer, here you will take, what is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of indicator mean? To find out the end point. And ammonia buffer, what is the purpose of ammonia buffer? The buffer can be used to maintain the pH throughout the titration. Here ammonia buffer, that is 67.5 grams of ammonium chloride ammonium chloride in 570 ml of ammonia. The whole mixture made up to 1 liter of water. Okay, these are all the some chemicals required for this method. Okay, one is a standard hot water, another one is a EDT, another one is a EBT, another one is a ammonia buffer. Standard hot water is prepared by using 1 gram of calcium carbonate in dilute HCl, that is in 1 liter of water. EDTA 4 grams of EDTA in 1 liter of water, and EBT 0.5 grams of EBT in 100 ml of alcohol, and ammonia buffer 67.5 grams of ammonium chloride in 570 ml of ammonia and made up to 1 liter. These are all the some chemicals required for this method. And next we will discuss about the principle of this method. In this principle, here we are going to use the EDTA. By using this EDTA only, we are going to estimate the hardness of water, Okay, what is EDTA? Ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, and this is the structure for EDTA. Is the ethylene group. On both sides of the ethylene group, we have to attach amine group, and then in the amine group there are 4 tetraacetic acid group. Okay, by using this ethylene diamine tetraacid, you are going to estimate. And next thing, here we are using EBT indicator. EBT as an indicator. The color of the EBT, that is wine red color. Wine red color. This EBT is added in the hard water. Now the color changes to steel blue in color. Okay, and next thing is a ammonia buffer. Ammonia buffer. The ammonia buffer, what is the purpose of ammonia buffer, or what is the uses of ammonia buffer mean? Here we are using, by using this one to maintain the pH throughout the titration. The range of pH, that is 8 to 9. Okay, and then next one, throughout the titration, there are 2 stages of reaction takes place. First reaction, here you are taking the hard water. The hard water, it consists of calcium and magnesium ions. And then this hard water is treated with, the first stage of the reaction, the hard water is treated with EBT. EBT, that is the indicator, that is eriochrome black tea indicator. And then pH should be maintained. The range of pH, that is 8 to 9. Now we will get a EBT complex, that is CaMg, and then EBT complex. The color of the complex, that is wine red color complex. And then the stability, that is unstable complex will be formed. Okay, this is the first stage of reaction. In the second stage, the EBT complex, it's again titrated against EDTA. The EDTA, that is in the burette. Here also you have to maintain the pH range, that is 8 to 9. Now we will get the EDTA complex, Mg, and then EDTA. This here in this reaction, the EDTA, it replaces all the EBT from EBT complex. Now we will get CaMg and then EDTA plus EBT. The replaced EBT, the color of the replaced EBT, that is steel blue in color. And then this complex, the nature of the complex, that is stable complex, will be produced. There are 2 stages of reaction throughout the titration. Okay. Our next thing is next we will discuss about the procedure. The procedure is consist of 3 titration. One is a standardization of EDTA, and second one is a estimation of total hardness, and then third one is a estimation of permanent hardness. There are 3 titration in this procedure. Now we'll see the simple procedure for all the 3 titration. Titration 1, and then titration 2, and next one is a titration 3. Titration 1, that is standardization of EDTA, and then titration 2, that is estimation of total hardness, and then titration 3, estimation of permanent hardness. In all the 3 titration, we will follow the same procedure, but only thing, the pipette solution is different. First one is a burette. In burette solution, in all the 3 titration, you have used the same burette solution. First one is a EDTA, and second one is a standard EDTA, and then third one is a standard EDTA. This solution is taken in the burette, and second one is a pipette solution. Here in the first titration, here you have to use 20 ml of standard hot water, and then second titration 20 ml of sample of hot water, in the third titration 20 ml of boiled hot water sample. Why here we are using boiled hot water sample mean the temporary hardness can be removed by boiling. The water contain both type of hardness. One is a temporary hardness, another one is a permanent hardness. The temporary hardness can be easily removed by boiling. In that way only you have boiled the water. After that only you are going to find out the permanent hardness. Okay. Our next one is a additional solution. Additional solution, 5 ml of buffer, ammonia buffer is added, and here also you have add the same thing, 5 ml of buffer, that is ammonia buffer is added, and then last one here also 5 ml of buffer, ammonia buffer is added. And the next one is a indicator. Here you have to add 2 or 3 drops of indicator, that is EBT indicator is added, and then here also 2 or 3 drops of EBT, and here also 2 or 3 drops of EBT indicator is added. And then the next one is a endpoint. here the wine red changes to steel blue in color. Here also wine red to steel blue, and here also wine red to steel blue in color. Okay, and last one is the volume of EDTA. Here in the first titration, the amount of EDTA consumed, that is equal to V1 ml, and then in the second titration V2 ml, and then third titration V3 ml. This is a simple procedure for this titration. In the titration, in all the three titration, you have followed the same procedure, but only thing, the pipette solution is different. First of all, by using that burette solution, you fill the burette, that is EDTA, up to 0 mark level. And next one is a pipette solution. For first titration, here you pipette out 20 ml of the solution by using the pipette, 20 ml pipette. That pipette solution is taken in the conical flask, and after that you have to add additional solution. Additional solution, that is 5 ml of ammonia buffer is added. Why you have to add buffer solution? Mean to maintain the pH throughout the titration, and after that you have to add the indicator. Indicator, like 2 or 3 drops of indicator is added, and then the conical flask solution is titrated against a standard EDTA burette solution. Now we will get a end point. The end point, that is wine red to steel blue in color. And last one is a volume of EDTA. The amount of EDTA used in this titration, consumed in the titration 1, that is equal to V1 ml. The same way, the same procedure you have to follow the second titration and also in the third titration. In all the three titration, you will get a same endpoint, that is wine red to steel blue and wine red to steel blue color. And then in the second titration, the amount of EDTA consumed, that is equal to V2 ml, and the amount of third titration, the amount of EDTA consumed in the third titration, that is equal to V3 ml. By using this V1 and then V2 and V3 ml, next we are going to calculate the total hardness and then permanent hardness. Next, we will discuss about the calculation part. Titration 1. Titration 1. In the titration 1, here we are find out V1 ml. By using this V1 ml, we are going to find out the formula for total hardness and then permanent hardness. And then in the titration 1, in the titration 2, here we are going to estimate the total hardness. The total hardness, the formula for total hardness, that is equal to V2 by V1 into 1000 milligrams of calcium carbonate. Okay, V2, that is in the second titration, the amount of EDTA consumed, that is from V2, and V1, that is first titration, the amount of EDTA consumed in the first titration, that is V1 ml. By using this formula only, we are going to calculate the total hardness. In the same way, in titration 3, we are going to find out the permanent hardness. That is, permanent hardness is equal to V3 by V1 into 1000 milligrams of calcium carbonate. And next we are going to, by using this two hardness, next we are going to find out the temporary hardness. The formula for total hardness is equal to permanent hardness plus temporary hardness. This is the formula for total hardness. So by using these two formulas, by using these two values, one is the total hardness, here you are going to find out, and then permanent hardness is also going to find out. By using this two hardness, next we are going to find out the temporary hardness. That is, temporary hardness is equal to total hardness minus permanent hardness. Okay, this is a formula for temporary hardness. But by using this method, by using this EDTA method, you are going to calculate the hardness. That is two hardness. One is a temporary hardness, another one is a total hardness. By using this two hardness, next we are going to calculate the temporary hardness from water. Okay, thank you. That's all.